I was doing a sample of wood for a neighbor of mine, and she wanted something kind of that unicorn-esque feel that's in with paints right now with unicorn spit and other things. We're not going to be using unicorn spit. We actually used alcohol inks to do this because I was doing alcohol inks. Let me see how this looks. And I'd heard don't always use alcohol inks on wood, but today we're going to use alcohol ink on wood because we really love the look of it, and it gives that unicorn kind of feel to it, or that galaxy kind of feel to it that's really popular for furniture right now. And we are actually going to be doing a box. So this is just a wooden box that you can pick up from a craft store. You can open it up. If you wanted to, you could put a handle here to pick it up with, no problem, a finial. So basically what we're going to be doing is coloring our box. So we're going to start first with the lid of the box, and we're going to be using alcohol inks to kind of get this look. And to do that, we're going to start with different colors. I use Sigwang. You can use anything you want. There's vibrant colors. You can use Ranger. There are plenty of these different alcohol inks out there. This is Scarlet. This is Fuchsia. We're going to probably use some Peacock Blue, some green, and some definitely Sapphire Blue. There's my Peacock Blue. I would love to use some Lemon Yellow, and I'm not sure we're going to use red. We'll kind of play around with it. There's different kinds of blues here. We have Navy Blue, Sapphire. Sapphire is very vibrant, and we're just going to play around with it. And I've got my alcohol, and I've got a brush. This is a number 10 artist brush. It is this is actually a watercolor brush because I use this all the time from alcohol ink, and this is really smooth. I'm not really worried about it. I just need a really nice thin brush to do this if I need a brush. I also can go straight from the bottle. It actually works straight from the bottle, no problem as well. So it's just a matter of the color that you like and taking inspiration from our piece of wood that we've done as a sample. We're going to start very simply, or I'm going to start very simply by leaving a little bit in case I want to put yellow. I like the blend, and I'm going to just add some blue alcohol ink, and that is very, very vibrant. It's very, very vibrant. And if you want to make it spread, obviously you're going to use alcohol. This is really saturating deep down into the wood. I don't know what will happen specifically if you add alcohol and then add it. We can try that as well. But there's our Sapphire Blue. And I'm going to do Fuchsia next. I love this Fuchsia. It's such a bright, wonderful color. And I'm actually not going to put it here. You would think I'm going to, but I'm not. I'm actually going to kind of mimic where we've got our wood. The grain of the wood, the knot of the wood, and put it down here. It almost looks like marker. It's very vivid. And I'm going to let it spread out. Now, the other thing that you can do is just mix it up into a cup and pour it, and I'm going to pour this over the blue. If you want something that's a little bit lighter, you can do it like this. It's definitely going to have some lightness to it. And you can pull it off. I am now going to actually add a little bit of alcohol, and I'm going to dumb it down just a little bit with my Peacock Blue and show you that you can also paint this on. So if you want a nice gradient color instead of a stark color, you can. But if you want the starkness, you can just go with the direct from the bottle approach. Smooth it out with a little bit of alcohol. And you notice I don't really care that my alcohol is colored blue. It's going to work just fine for this because I want them to kind of run into each other. I want them to meet up and run into each other. If you want to protect your hands, most people will wear gloves. I am just not necessarily needing that right now, but you can if you want. We're next going to do, I'm going to choose purple. I like my purple next to my pink. And I'm actually going to put some purple here as well, next to my blue. This wood is highly, highly absorbent. More so than I thought it was going to be, but that's okay. I am going to add some pink over here because I like that that's where they live together. And I'm not going to forget my yellow. I'm going to add it right here. And that's going to kind of make in with that orange. And I also can turn this green. So if you remember how your colors work, how everything works together. I am going to pour out my blue. I actually am looking for a lighter purple now. I want a little bit of a lighter purple. And in order to do that, I just need to mix that up with a little bit of alcohol. And I'm going to pour it here so I can get that lighter purple. And we're just going to keep working it. I'm actually going to choose to put a little bit of the peacock. You'll probably be like, is there rhyme or reason? Yes, there is. There's a little bit of rhyme or reason. Okay, so once you finished all of your painting, you're probably going to want to seal your work with Kamar Varnish, which is the varnish that most people use on alcohol inks. This will keep your alcohol inks from reacting to another layer of varnish that you're going to want to do that's going to allow it to be shiny. Definitely don't spray this varnish inside. You're going to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. You're going to want to use something like Liquitex high gloss varnish, or you can use resin, but resin is very difficult to use on rounded surfaces, just be forewarned. Now, what I did to finish this was use peel and stick velvet. This is a dark blue velvet, and I made a template that you can either do by sitting down inside of your box, or you can use a compass, which is what I recommend. You're just going to want to measure to get the diameter and then split it in half for the radius, and you can easily draw out a perfect circle with your compass, which is definitely what I recommend for this, and it should fit pretty much perfectly inside of the bottom. And then for the sides, you're going to want to measure the sides, the width of the side, and then cut to length a strip that will go around the inside. So dry fit that before you peel and stick. So just make sure that it fits really well in there and that it's not rising above the edges of your box. And once that has been dry fit, you can go ahead and also measure for the bottom of the box if you want a very clean look on the bottom of your box, and that's what I did. You can see that it's not very clean under there, but now it will be, and it will also protect your surfaces where your box sits. If you used resin, you will need to probably use a heat gun to make sure that you get off any of the little places that are left behind when you use resin. Then you're essentially ready to peel and stick. I love this peel and stick velvet. It goes perfectly on the bottom. You just peel it straight back, and then you're able to press it on. As you can see here, it's very easy to use. Okay, so once the bottom is completed, then you can go ahead and fit in your sides first, and then once the sides have been carefully put in, then you can add the bottom, and it should fit perfectly if you measured correctly, and just press that down and you have a very nice velvet box and a very nice velvet bottom for your box. Very finished look. And really, that's all there is to it. And there we have it. We have a beautiful rainbow glossed box, and it looks pretty good. And if you want to, you can choose to put a finial on the top or a pull to make it easier to open your box, or you can use it plain. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe.